that?
What? It's an M4.
Bro, that's so fucking old, man.
It ain't that old. Late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, man, what is this? The fucking Revolutionary War? What are you, Paul Revere? The British are coming. The British are coming.
Maybe I am old.
Wait, where are you going? I was kidding. 2FIC.
Maybe I am old. I am old. I am old.
The Revolutionary War? What are you, Paul Revere? The British are coming. The British are coming.
Maybe I am old.
What's that?
Big welcome back to my entire USOW family. Wherever in the world you may be, Boy Blue here, coming to you live once again from behind enemy lines. Want to say thank you for everybody jumping into the episode with us. A couple of weeks ago, we dropped an episode featuring the Fight Light SCR rifle, and we were really impressed with it. Amazing little work of art there. However, we ran some drills, and we were going to compare it to what? How does it stack up against other weapon systems? I thought most importantly, what we should do next in this whole line is create a baseline so that we have something to compare everything else against. And with that in mind, why not start with the gold standard, the Colt M4, also made by Fabrique Nationale. I believe there's even some Remington ones floating around out there. But we felt like this would be a great one because it's so iconic. So many guys that are in the genre that would probably be watching this episode are familiar with it. And this, I feel like, would give us the best opportunity to run comparisons against it. And so what we're going to do is just go out there today, create some accuracy baseline measurements on this weapon system, and then we're going to run a few drills and just kind of see what the standard is. Now, I know everybody out there, first thing you're looking at is the funky magazine, wondering what the heck is going on. You heard the tagline, coming to you live from behind enemy lines, so you should already know. The only way for a lot of these rifles to be legal in the lovely state that we reside in is to have a fixed 10-round magazine, and we by no means recommend that you go out there and get yourself into any unnecessary trouble. So we're going to do exactly the same and not cause ourselves any headaches that aren't mandatory. Now, is this ideal? Absolutely not. So, you know, how you vote matters, I reckon. All right, guys, stick around. We're going to jump over to the 100-yard line, and the first thing we're going to do is see how this bad boy stacks up for MOA accuracy. However, I got to let you in on a little secret. I've had this one for quite a while, and out of the box, they must have made this thing first thing on a Monday morning because it is one of the most accurate off-the-shelf rifles that I have owned. So let's see if it'll perform. All right, guys, so we're sitting here at the 100-yard line. Had to rough check that zero real quick. Had to mess with this magazine to get it to work correctly. Maybe check out the blooper reel.
Hurry, hurry, they're coming.
I don't even know how to load this thing.
Hurry up. They're coming over the walls. We should just film it. I think we should just film it with our own mag at this point. This is so gay.
Look at the rounds in here.
Oh my god, guys. Holy shit.
Anyway, 100 yards, Colt M4, standard barrel, shooting IMI, 77 grain open tip match. They call it their Razor Core. And let's see what the 5-shot group looks like. with this particular magazine. Clearly a bolt failed to lock open. So never give up any of your freedoms. You're not gonna get them back. All right, guys, so we got our 5-round accuracy group. We measured it off, and from the center, this is within a 1 inch, and we have the typical one flyer because no human's perfect, despite what the internet would tell you. And that extended the group to about 1.5 inches MOA. Might notice it's a little bit off of center. We do need to push right as you were left a few clicks to get it zeroed. However, the height is a 36-yard zero, so it's normally going to group, you know, a few inches high at 100. So just know your holds, know your rifle. And let's move downrange and put this thing through some speed tests and see how it measures up. All right, guys, so we're going to start off 7-yard line with a few bill drills and just see how the old M4 stacks up.
Bye.
That was terrible. That shit was all over the place.
196.
All right, 7 rounds, 202.
6 rounds, 189.
All right, so the 6th round was 189. Never said I could count. Let's take a look, see. So this is earlier when we were checking zero. Anyway, see, nice little group. So got the one breaking the line. We always count that as a miss because we just like to hold ourselves to a slightly higher standard. Not a terrible grip, and we'll get G a run and see how he does. I always wish G had an English accent. I feel like we could charge more for classes. Shooter ready? Here we go. .46. All right, guys, snag the cameraman, Nikki. Gonna see how he does. He's a really good shooter as well. All right, Nick, ready? All right, 2.5.
As far as I'm concerned, that's center mass.
G here behind the camera. We got 1 in, 1 line break.
So remember, guys, that right there represents kind of your height over your bore. So even with the EOTech not on a riser, this EXPS3 sets a little bit higher. So you got to remember your height over bore is going to be at least a couple of inches with an optic. So you want to aim high like the Air Force. All right, guys, so this starting point of our CA drill. CA drill is an 11-round drill just because we have so many people show up to training that has to complete it, and we don't want to have any issues with their magazine capacity. First 2 shots are going to be at 50 yards. We have 1 in the left-hand target, 1 in the right-hand target in the A zone. Then you're going to start moving. Once you start moving your feet, you're going to hit this first target. First target's 1 round in the A zone chest, 1 round in the card box of the head. Once you move to this target, use it for cover. Shoot the second target, 1 in the A zone head, or as you were, 1 in the A zone chest, 1 in the head. Then you're going to sprint down to the 7-yard line. From that 7-yard line, we're going to fire 2 into the farthest right target, 2 into the farthest left target, transition to the center target, and a final headshot. Total of 11 rounds, and we just see how quickly we can complete that drill in. Time?
23:62.
All right,
shots.
26 seconds. 23?
23:62.
23:62. All right, got your marker?
Yes, sir.
That was straight doo-doo. All right. Alpha. What do we call that? Charlie?
Yeah.
All right, Charlie. Then Alpha, Alpha. Woo. Alpha. And then line break. Charlie. I know height over borrow this one.
Yeah.
Was no bueno.
Yep.
All right, so good Alpha here. Charlie here. Good Alpha. And a line break, but we count it as a Charlie.
1.9898 hit factor.
1.9898. Ooh, yeah. I knew that middle one was low.
Right in the neck. 2387.
2387? Okay. I feel like it's a lot cleaner.
0.10 faster than your last one.
0.10?
It's 10 milliseconds faster.
Yeah. Alright, so score it up.
Alpha, Alpha.
Alpha, Alpha. Charlie! Big old Charlie. That was definitely height over bore.
Yeah.
Alpha, Alpha. Oh, Charlie, stupid high. Alpha. So all Alpha is 2 Charlie.
Dessert. It was a good headshot on that second one. Dead center of the credit card.
Yeah. Yeah, that height overboard gets you like every time, man. You get competitive, chasing the time, the score. Right, Alpha. Alpha. Yeah, that one was clean.
2.05.
Alpha, Charlie.
2.05.
2.05.
Yeah.
So you're going for lower or higher?
Higher.
Sounds good.
So like ideally perfect would be so like it's 11 shots. So if you had 11 alphas at your current time, 2.30.
Gotcha.
So let's say like a really good time would be like 20 seconds.
Math.
Like 2.75 would be a perfect hit factor for the drill.
So if anybody's wondering, what we did is we just downloaded an app, and that helps us calculate the hit factor because we suck at math.
I may be Indian. I ain't that Indian.
All right, so Charlie, Charlie.
Charlie.
That height overboard.
Yeah, Charlie.
Charlie. Charlie Alpha.
I give myself a Charlie on that one. Charlie.
Charlie. Honest guy.
Oh, I barely got it on this one.
Woo!
Shooting like a wild man. Alpha Charlie. Oh man, missed this one.
Yeah.
Oh, Alpha Mike. What was my time?
18.91. You were booking it.
1.48 still.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't have missed.
Yeah.
Sloppy.
All right, guys. Sun's going down. Meet me at the table. Let's shake this bad boy down. Not G, but the rifle. All right, guys. Thanks for sticking around this far. We're going to jump into this kind of a sleeper build. Looks like an M4 from the outside, but on the inside, it's got some interesting parts. Before we do, I want to thank you for hanging out this long. And make sure if you are, the best way to support the channel is just do all those things that you already know. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. The best way to help us out, other than if we have any sponsors at this point in this endeavor, is support them, but you can directly support us to where we don't even rely on those folks anymore. And go to our merch shop at usoverwatch.com, all one word. And if you like what we're rocking, then get your own and represent. We've seen it all over the place, and we've starting to get pictures in from all over the world, people rocking the gear, and we're very, very honored to see that. All right, enough of that. Let's get into this. Starting off at the tippy top. So it looks like a A2 flash hider, just a little bird cage there, but you would be deceived by your eyes. This is a slightly extended one. It's been welded and pinned in place. I said that backwards, but I'm dyslexic, so you should get used to that with the channel. Bringing it to a legal, and we've been all about legality here today, unfortunately, bringing it to a legal 16.1 inch length. Now that's attached to a Colt Coal Hammer Forge chrome line standard profile, standard government profile barrel. You can know the M4 barrel from its very distinctive M203 ring little notch cut out of the barrel. So if you weren't familiar with what that's for, they cut out that little notch so that they could attach a standard length M203 grenade launcher to the bottom of this barrel should the situation dictate. Now, moving back from there, you got the standard M4 fixed front sight. If you've ever been a gunsmithing guy and tried to remove one of these, you know these things are built bomb proof. Reminds me of a lot of the boot camp days where we had the old school, and I'm definitely dating myself, M16s, and you would just be surprised. We'd do bayonet drills, we would do close order drill, all kind of stuff, and actually go out and qualify relatively well. So these rifles are very robust, and this front sight definitely is. Now, never happy with the way things are set up. I did change out my front sight post for one that contains a tritium insert. Tritium's a radioactive material that glows in the dark, thus giving me the capability to shoot in negative light or very low light with the red dot. Shouldn't have to worry about it, but should it die, we do have backup sights. Right here, we've got an old school Surefire mounted to a arms swan lever that keeps it locked in place. Pressure pad goes down to the vert grip, and you have a clicky button back here. So I like this one. It's very robust. This one's, I've actually used it for many, many years, and it served me very well and continues to do so. Never had an issue, knock on wood. But this is the two-is-one methodology here. Clicky cap is your backup should the tape switch fails. And it's kind of interesting, I've seen Surefire start making these again for their Scout Light series, the 600 and I believe it's 300 model. You now have the option of having one of these. Highly recommend getting into that. A little expensive, but definitely worth it if your life depends on it. All right, this actual Surefire, I wrote it down because it's a lot of numbers. It's the Alpha 57173 model. Everybody always hits us up in the comments and says, well, what model was this or that or the other? I know you guys love the gear. We love it here too. That's why we do this, labor of love. All right, got some grippy tape here. This actually breaks in well. It actually gets a little stickier the more you use it, and I like the tactile feel of it whenever needed. Now, I know a lot of these have gone by the wayside. You don't see them that much. However, if you've ever been on a detail where you had to stand around a lot, maybe like some static guard duty or something like that, or a long patrol, it does become kind of aggravating to hold your wrist at this angle for a long period of time. So being able to drop it down here, maintain control of your weapon is very helpful. Also, if you find yourself doing some lovely CQB, then it gives you a great grip on the rifle if someone should try to grab the barrel, or if you want to introduce them to your muzzle tip at a very high velocity to move them out of your way. Now, this one has the permanently attached standard little sling attachment point there. We're rocking a Edgar Sherman sling here. Bought this back in the day because I love the color and haven't had any issue with it. No metal hardware on it, so I don't know if that'd be a problem for you. I like it because our guns get beat up, but sometimes the hardware on our Ferro Concept slings or whatnot can really gouge the firearm. So depending on what you're into, then you just select the sling that works the best for you. Riding on top here, we have the EXPS3-0. We've already kind of covered this optic. Now, earlier in the episode, you did see I had the flip-up magnifier. That was the 5 power because I was just trying to give ourselves the greatest advantage to demonstrate the true capabilities of accuracy for the rifle. However, on the daily, I don't run that on there. Normally, I do just fine with just this. Right behind that, we have the G, G, and G. A lot of freaking G's, and you know this channel, we love our G's. And he's sitting over there still. This is the GG&G MAD. I've had this thing since the early 2000s, mid 2000s, somewhere around there. And it has a MAD standing for multiple aperture device. It's a little flip up rear sight. And each time you click the wheel, it either goes to the bigger aperture or the smaller aperture. So if you need to change, flick it left or right, it's going to the opposite of what it's on. And the old one used to not have a little retention piece that popped out when you brought it up. However, this one has it, and you have to actually press it in to place it back down. I kind of like the old one. I never had any issue with it, and I always thought if I banged into something or hit something with it, rather than it breaking off, it would just fold back down. So I don't know. Haven't had it break off, so I guess the technology works just fine as it is. Now, inside the lower receiver, we do have a Geisley single stage trigger. Just am a huge fan of the Geisley triggers, and I believe that's one of the best upgrades you can make to your rifle as far as bang for your buck, other than the bolt carrier group and bolt. Now, our Radian Talon is the ambidextrous safety switch. I do have it at a 45-degree throw. That's just what I prefer. You have the option with that for a 90-degree throw as well. We also have the Radian Raptor charging handle, which just gives us a little bit better purchase. Now, another interesting thing on this rifle is we did exchange our lower receiver extension, the buffer tube, for an LMT. So it is an LMT 308 buffer tube, which allows us to run a full-length Spring-Co rifle spring and an A5 buffer, which gives you just a little bit smoother recoil impulse whenever firing the rifle. And as you can see, in case you were wondering out there, it works perfectly. We didn't have any issues other than the magazine, which I know is an abomination, but please don't kill the messengers. We just wanted to bring you the rifle breakdown, and regrettably, we're in an area where we can't just have a magazine that comes out of the rifle. So comp mag, no harm, no foul on those guys. At least they're trying to make a workaround for us here behind enemy lines that still want to enjoy our Second Amendment freedoms, the ones that we have left. Now, we always get the question, what's the overall length? And I'm sure someone's going to be interested since we are running the slightly extended buffer tube. And the overall length is 32.5 inches. And that is with the stock fully in. And this is a B5 stock. I think I forgot to mention that, one of the favors of the channel. But you can see when it's fully pushed in, you still have about 1 inch of receiver, so it's not going to fit flush. If the looks of the rifle are more important to you than the functionality, then you may want to go with the standard carbine length buffer tube. However, if performance is your game, then the 308 buffer tube from LMT allows you to run that better buffer system in our humble opinion. Now, standard A2 grip, I just like the looks of it. It's got really nice aesthetics. Anyway, wraps it up into a very beautiful package. The magnifier we ran was the EOTech G45, and I think that's all the parts that have nomenclatures that you might need to know out there. Now, these rifles have been in development since the 1980s, and maybe you're familiar with some of the earlier models you may have seen from Vietnam era photographs. Some recent movies made the CAR-15, its predecessor, a little bit more popular, and you had the XM177 Echo 2, which was another variant that we saw a lot of military use, and it all just kind of was developed into the M4, which gave you a capable package out to 300 yards and potentially extended beyond that, and was able to be carried into urban environments without too much loss of mobility. So if you don't have kind of a do-it-all rifle and you're looking for something to get into that's a pretty cost effective, I would highly suggest some of the older M4s that are on the market there, and you don't have to buy anything additional. Now, I almost glossed over this part. This is a Riz rail, which is from Knight's Armament, and it does give you the replacement for the handguards that come on the rifle and allows you some options for mounting flashlights, any other accoutrement you may want on your rifle. However, as we demonstrated today, fully capable package, and I'll drop down in the notes the comparison between this and our earlier reviewed SCR, just to let you see how all these things are starting to stack up. And our cameraman Nikki even had the idea we should start bringing out a board each time we review one of these rifles, and just kind of keep a running tally so you, the viewing audience, can take a look-see at those numbers very easily with us, and just be amazed as we are on our journey. Okay, guys and gals, really appreciate everybody checking in with us. It's always great to be here. I'm glad that our labor of love is able to continue moving forward. With that being said, we never get out of here without a little golden nugget of wisdom. And our golden nugget of wisdom today is to take care of your body. You only get one trip around this big, beautiful earth, and you're gonna need that body to take you as many places as you can, to do as many things as you wanna do. And don't be afraid of damaging it along the way. I've had multiple repairs and I'm still out there going. And I forget which philosopher it was, but they said, you know, they wouldn't want to arrive at death with their body in perfect condition. They want scars to kind of show the roadmap of their life. So get out there, live life to the fullest. Maybe you want to drop in the comments, let us know what scars you have. Be very interested to see that. And with that, this is Blue on behalf of the USOW crew, and we are